Congratulations, you've made it to the end of this section. This is by far one of the most content heavy sections of this entire course. In fact, it is the most content heavy section of the course. And let's recap exactly what we've learned about for the Tech Plus exam. So the first thing that we covered here was common devices. We talked about all of the common devices from laptops to computers to printers to routers, switches. We've covered many different areas in many different devices. Make sure that you understand each device that we've talked about from earlier videos and that you understand them for the Tech Plus exam. Next up, we talked about the internal components primarily for computers and laptops. As we already know, we have internal components that our computers and devices use for them to actually function. Everything runs off of the motherboard within inside our laptop or computer case. From there, everything else connects. Our CPU, our GPU, our RAM, our storage, all of our accessories that are very important for a computer to function lie within the actual case. From there, we talked about storage types. We talked about the cloud versus on-site storage. We talked about how we have different types of storage devices. So flash drives, SD cards, we have solid state drives, hard drives. We talked about as well the different types of technology and connections, such as SATA, PCIe, and much more. From there, we discussed peripherals. Now, our peripherals are devices that add some sort of function. So for example, a mouse. The mouse allows us to have the function of being able to move our cursor around. A keyboard, it gives us the function to be able to actually type into our computer. So these peripheral devices, normally most peripherals sit outside of our computer case. Remember, our internal components, those are internal. So those sit inside our computer, laptop, or our general device case. Our peripherals, on the other hand, those are peripheral devices. Those sit outside of our device case. And we've covered a bunch of different peripherals. We covered printers, we covered different USB devices, we covered USB standards, we covered mouses, monitors, keyboards, we covered a lot of different areas. Just keep in mind, peripherals, remember, they're what sits outside of our device case. And peripherals can have a wide variety of different connection types, from Bluetooth to RF to USB. There's so many different types of connections. Thunderbolt, make sure that you understand those connections in depth for the Tech Plus exam. Followed by that, we looked at input and output, or I/O interfaces. This is our input and our output. This is what allows us to enter things and get things out from our computer or our device. Next up, we covered virtualization as well as the cloud. We covered different types of virtualization techniques like type 1 and type 2 hypervisors. We discussed virtual machines. We talked about the cloud in many different areas. We talked about infrastructure as a service, software as a service, platform as a service. We talked about how we can have cloud storage. We talked about public, hybrid, and private cloud models. Make sure that you understand all of these different areas of cloud as well as the virtualization concepts for the Tech Plus. From there, we talked about internet service providers as well as internet service types. Remember, those are ways that we connect to our actual service provider. So we might connect through satellite, we might connect through DSL, we might connect through fiber optic. There's a few different types of internet service types that you need to be aware of, as well as how those connections are actually made. From there, we talked about networking concepts. We dived into all of the various networking concepts, from IP addressing to different types of networking equipment, from routers to modems to switches to access points. We also talked about Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi encryption and Wi-Fi security. We talked about how you can actually go through and set up Wi-Fi devices and how different types of interference can play a role in our networking concepts. From there, we also talked again about small wireless networks. That includes generally our Wi-Fi topics and concepts. So again, this is by far the most content heavy part of this course and the most content heavy part of the Tech Plus exam. Let's keep going and learn more in the next section.